Now we have most of our inquiries, actually I'm not the one handling it directly. We have inquiries almost every day online. But it passes through my phone because when I set up the website, everything goes through me. And mostly there are BPO companies who want to set up here. We do their accounting, their payroll, and these are mostly multinational companies. But we, as far as outsourcing outside, no, we stopped it already. In 2008 and 2009 up to 2011, we were doing outsourcing outside. But internally here in the Philippines, we can no longer cater a lot of services because we are already, self-sufficient for us in the Philippines. So, and just to give you an idea, BPO outside is no longer a lucrative business. And if you will ask me, I'm a little bit heroic, so I'm not very much, doing some work that we prioritize first the Philippine, economy as far as I'm concerned. So we provide support first for the Philippines. So that's my priorities right now. Sorry for that. Yeah.
Perfect. And for our readers who are interested in investing in the Philippines or who have already invested in the Philippines, what would you say, or what would be your advice on the key sectors and industries that are the most that have the most opportunities for them?
Yeah, my main advice actually is don't be, there are a lot of negative news about the Philippines. There are political instability, the president is like this and like that. Actually, if you are not on the top yet, the Philippines, I am sure you know this one, that the Philippines is not yet on the top in Asia, but we should be going there. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm very optimistic and I'm inviting actually foreign companies to invest here. And then when they come here, my not only a prayer but a request is basically, instead of swimming with the sharks, basically we encourage them to comply with what is legal, because that's the only way that we can hold hands, move together as one, and then at the end of the day, they earn, we earn, we're happy everyone without compromising our integrity.
So with the incoming of all these foreign firms, you would be open to partnerships and new clients?
Yeah, I'll give you, apart from these accounting services about the software, we also have training services. We have training services, and we provide continuing professional development. And professionals of the future actually will be a school in the future. Our vision for our programs is we have a very big school, which is what we call as extraordinary and heroic school in a mountain. This is a mountain, and then there is a school here. And what do you call that one? The mountain here, and then here in the side of the mountain is a school. That is how our vision in terms of infrastructure. But there is an extraordinary and heroic school there. Yeah, and that's how I see things. Now, if you were asking me about our training services, we are now developing some programs which will give certifications, but we are now creating a program which we call as a Change Maker program and a Hero Maker program. This is something unique to us because of our mission. We have a Change Maker program. We have some core beliefs. I don't know if you know this one. The beliefs that we have is actually we believe that each one should challenge the status quo. That's our first belief. I think you know the book. The second belief that we have is we believe that every professional has unlimited potential for growth. What we are doing is here, but our potential is here. That's the second belief. And the third belief that we have is actually we believe that it is your right to grow. Not only a privilege, but a right to grow. You have the right, I have the right to grow. Everybody has the right to grow, but that is not happening right now. And the fourth one that we believe that we should love our country more. Just to, maybe, I don't know if it's off the record or what, but when you ask me, is it traffic? No, I will not say anything about traffic, even if there is traffic, because I don't want to see my own country.
That's right.
Yeah, we don't want to see that because we would rather promote the good ones and grow rather than sing the negative ones. And for this belief, we'll now have change maker program and a hero maker program, which we want Filipinos from 300 solid company people to 150,000 professionals, not only accountants but all types of professionals, and develop that into 1 million heroic Filipinos. And if I don't know if Beverly has mentioned, we have a heroic run which we started last year, November 9 or 7? November 10. And this year, this November this year, we'll do it in Davao, Cebu, Tacloban, and Manila. Heroic run. Yeah. So, apart from that, we will have a heroic book fair. And these books, and we'll be inviting a lot more authors to put in the books, and that will be done in a lot of places. These are programs that we have, and we are always very excited. And all our people here will encouraging them to write a book.
A lot of books.
We actually have a lot of annual events. Basically, we want to touch every sectors or every accounting jobs, or like for bookkeepers, for internal auditors, for tax experts. As mentioned earlier, we have Tax Congress, and we have Bookkeeper Summit, and we have Internal Auditor Summit. And we also have this Interprofessional Summit. Basically, the objective of the event is to inspire professionals, young interprofessionals, to be specific, to grow their career.
So with these 1 million Filipinos that you would want to train and all, in order to service your clients and your partners better, what kind of partnerships would you be looking for in the future?
For all our people, actually,
for
we
your
have,
people, for your business.
yeah, we have different levels because we want everybody to become a partner here. When we say partner, they're part owner. Our objective is each one of them will be running a business unit in which they are the boss. They're the owner, and you will support them, and that's how we want it to go. So we have some programs. One program is actually Morse Roland affiliation. If you're a small practitioner, individual practitioner, they can join a network, and that network actually is a network of consultants. This is a new one. Another one is we are inviting partners nationwide. Initially, we're targeting 300 partners nationwide, but the 300 partners with 10 staff each will be 3,000. That's what I'm saying, 3,000 partners, which are not employed by us, but actually under each independent branch. So that will be 300 partners multiplied by 10, one partner, 10 each staff each. But because based on my experience, the strategy now is small business units. Each one will take care of 10 people. And then that's how we grow now. And then that's one of the programs. And we have also what we call as I-for-1 partnership grants, which if you are into, we have softwares, we are asking for resellers nationwide of softwares. So that is being part of the partnership. So total partners, as I mentioned, 3,000 for the accounting industry, but 7,000 for the non-accountants, so 10,000.
And in the non-accountants, what type of firms are you looking for? What type of industries?
Almost all. We have a partner right now here. He's into marketing. If you're that person is a freelancer. He's not registered with the government. That's why he's some sort of what do you call that one? This is very good in terms of marketing. We got him as a consultant, and he helped us grow the branding. Even this one, he's the one who thought about everything about the market. He's very good, but he's a small player. An individual is not registered with any government agency. I asked him to join us, become a partner, and now he can now go to big companies. Hey, I'm very good. He represents a company, and then he has an official receipt because he's now registered. So what I'm saying now is anybody who has at least 3 to 5 years experience and who has expertise, they can come to us and join, and by tomorrow they have already a business, independent branch. So we will give them official receipt which they can use for their clients. Obviously, there's some sort of royalty sharing with anybody. and we will train them how to become entrepreneurs. We call them as professional entrepreneurs. Yeah.
So that was we discussed a lot about your firm and your capabilities. What would be the key message that you have for our readers who could be potential clients of yours, business owners, industry leaders? What is the key message of your firm?
Yeah, our key message for Filipinos, just be heroic. Just be heroic. That is one. But for foreign companies, our key message is again, help the Philippines also. Again, I'm very brutal about this one. I'm usually brutally honest. We encourage you to come to the Philippines, but just help the Philippines also so that we can help you back. But again, we would actually ask you to be, don't swim with the sharks, just do whatever is right and what is legal and what is moral. Yeah.
And in light of that, what would be your vision for Sison in the next 3 to 5 years?
This is a long-term program, 300 people to 3,000 people to 150,000 people. 300 to 3,000, 3,000 to 10,000 because that involves the all professionals. The 10,000 to 150,000 professionals because there are a total of 2 million professionals. And then that 150,000 will develop the 1 million in the long term. And I think we're getting already some traction. We just need to get a tipping point. So when we did that, I'm ready to die.
Thank you so much for all this information. It was really interesting, and actually, one of the things that SGB was saying in their feature is how the people inside the firm were the most important thing, were the basis of the firm. They were talking about how they had more than 5,000 clients, so that meant that they had a staff that was specialized in so many different fields, and this together was bringing the strength of the firm. And they were talking about how they wanted to position the Philippines as well as the place to be, but also help their clients for the next industries to grow. They were talking about IT, technology, like you mentioned, AI, also regulation and taxes, how clients can really navigate through the changing landscape of the Philippines because it was growing really fast. So this is what they were saying in the feature, and they were using it as a way to find partnerships and attract these potential companies, investors looking into the country.
We do have some, I forgot this one, we have what we call as, just recently we are creating what we call as philtaxes.com. It's, later on I'll be recording about the tax amnesty program of the government. It's not yet approved by the president, he needs to sign it, but it will be released soon. So we are creating a video. So every week we will be releasing a video to philtaxes about tax updates in the Philippines. So that's one way also that we attract. But actually, that's all these things actually is very good. But what I focus now on the top aspect is to inspire all these people so that we can motivate ourselves.
Yeah, well, they were saying that they were really committed to developing new talents to join their team to make it grow even more. So yeah, that was something similar that you're saying. And just quickly, when we met with KPMG, they were saying, actually, yeah, they're right here. I don't know if you're familiar.
That's my boss.
Well, yeah, they were just talking.
I always say that one because I'm much younger than them.
Well, just the main thing that he was mentioning in the feature is how, they have a really strong global network, obviously, but they were celebrating their 10th anniversary of presence in the Philippines. And they were mentioning how they had become really a specialized local partner of choice in the Philippines for the macroeconomic segment of the country. So they were specialized in, BPO at that time, but also manufacturing and all those industries that were really growing. And so they were looking to attract more companies, more investors, same thing, to enter into the Philippines. But yeah, we met with a lot of accounting and audit firms, and they all
And we met with Mazar in Thailand, for example, and they were also mentioning their vision, their strong vision of really the people that work there. So these are just some examples. But from the discussion, I've taken down some notes that I think we could focus on in the future. So I'll just read them to you. First of all, I think the report could benefit STP in a way to raise its international profile as a company that started as modestly in auditing and have tremendously diversified and grown its portfolio in the last 18 years, thanks to your strong background in anti-fraud, but more importantly, your passion, dedication, and visionary spirit that has enabled you to build a firm around your mission and vision, which is 1 million extraordinary and heroic Filipinos for a fraud-free Philippines. And you have become one of the fastest growing firms in the country and well on your way of becoming extraordinary. Secondly, it could be a way to attract different companies across different industries into the Philippines by highlighting your holistic approach and your portfolio ranging from bookkeeping, tax compliance, consulting, system implementation, but also training services, together with your in-house developed softwares to help you focus on the opportunities that are presented by SMEs so they can be a part of the country's growth. And also mention your continuous efforts to inspire professionals to grow their career through your book fairs, runs, and also heroic extraordinary schools and many more initiatives. And finally, it could be a way to share your thought leadership and commitment to giving back to the society for the good of the Philippines, and also your advocacy work, how through your 300 employees trying to change into 3,000 into 150 extraordinary professionals and to develop 1 million extraordinary Filipinos, and invite foreign investors from outside of the Philippines but also nationwide, and young talents to join your team to further grow in the future. So I think this
It's great.
is the key.
It's very
He was
fun.
able to catch everything.
You were able to catch everything. We were discussing it to them for how many months?
Well, these are all your words, and of course it's just a rough draft. But how we work is once you give us confirmation on participation, we start writing the draft right away, and then within 3 to 4 weeks we have a first draft ready for you, and then you have time to make some changes, edits. Like I said, we don't publish anything without your consent. And like I mentioned, the report will look a lot like the one here, but much bigger, obviously. So on the front page we have the interest pieces, and then we feature companies from all sectors together. We call this our mini trade show and exhibition, and we have article only, like I mentioned, but also branding spaces. And the reason for the branding spaces is because we don't include contact information in the heart of the article, so companies can use these to put different products, services, locations, but also contact information. And so I have a couple of recommendations, but before that I'll just show you once more on the online. The article will be published on June 12th in the hard copy, but it will also come online on the scmp.com in the business section, and it will stay live for a minimum of 1 year. And like I mentioned, we have over 62 million page views per month on the website, and we include also a link or multiple links to the website to generate that traffic back to your website directly. And also we release the rights of the article to you, so you become the owner and you can use it for any other purposes that you like. You can put it in your own social media through your newsletter, and we also send you hard copies of the report upon publication.
You will publish it only once, right?
Yeah, the hard copy will be published on June 12th, and the hard copy is really, as we publish only 8 to 9 per year, it's highly expected by the business community that still like to hold the report in their hand, but obviously the online presence is the long-term exposure.
Well, actually, we do have also exposures in doing business because we help the World Bank and the Department of Trade and Industry about the ease of doing business. We're a contributor there. And actually, they don't want us to be a contributor because we are very honest. We just rank the Philippines whatever we see. And now the rank of the Philippines is the lower, but we're going there. We're getting there.
Yeah, definitely. We see that a lot, and that's why we're so excited to be here at this time. But I'll just show you my recommendations on
Okay.
potential sizes that could